Inside a heavily guarded facility, a group of young boys are given tattoos of barcodes on the backs of their shaved heads, and are then trained in weapons, demolitions, unarmed combat, stamina, and strength to become professionally trained hitmen who operate around the globe. In present-day London, Interpol agent Mike Whittier returns home from work and realizes that the lights are out. He heads to another room when suddenly he is held at gunpoint by a deadly assassin, Agent 47. Agent 47 has no intention of killing Mike, as he could have done so earlier that morning, but is only here to talk, but warns Mike that if he has to kill him, then his family will join him at the pearly gates. Mike complies and takes a seat. Agent 47 wonders if Mike is a good man, even though he has taken lives, and asks him, when does a good man decide to kill? They talk about 47's life as a professional assassin, raised and trained by a secret organization known simply as the Organization. 3 months ago in Niger, 47 was given the task of taking out an African warlord. The warlord had captured one of his own men accused of stealing from him, and had his men strap him into a harness, where he brutally cut off the man's arm. The warlord then realized that the man's throat was stitched closed, and the man cried that an American had forced him to swallow something. Meanwhile, outside, 47 activates a bomb which explodes, killing all the men. After the attack, Mike arrives in Niger to meet with the head of the military. The man does not believe Mike when he is told that a secretive and deadly hitman, whom he has been chasing for 3 years, completed the hit. Mike warns the general that the man they are dealing with is very dangerous, and responsible for over 100 deaths spanning the entire globe, showing the general a map covered with red tacks. In Russia, 47 sits alone in a bar drinking, when a woman tries starting small talk with him about the amount of ice in his drink. She tries to introduce herself to him, but 47 excuses himself. He heads to his hotel room where he lays traps and checks on his escape rope on the balcony, ensuring it is secured. He then logs into his employer's servers where a female robotic voice congratulates him on his latest hit in Africa. His next hit on a Russian presidential candidate, however, has been moved up by a few days at the client's request, who also wants the hit to be public. 47 is reluctant, as the sudden changes go against his protocol and plans, but goes against his gut feeling and accepts. 47 then begins to do his research on his target. A few days later, Mikhail Belikov, his target, arrives at a massive campaign gathering and begins to talk to the press, when 47 takes aim and blows his head clean off before quickly escaping the scene. He is about to leave the country when he gets an urgent message from his employer. He logs in, where he is informed that there was a witness to his assassination, and he accepts the task of eliminating the target, who turns out to be a young woman named Nika. The next day, Nika is awaiting a cab when 47 spots her. He is about to shoot when they both look at each other, but she does not recognize him. Suddenly, an assassin from the organization begins shooting at 47, who calmly but swiftly escapes the scene. Mike arrives in Russia with his right-hand man Jenkins, where he reveals that Mikhail survived the assassination attempt and was only grazed by a bullet, and is bothered that 47 actually missed his target. Mike then gets a call telling him that they found 47 at a hotel after a concierge recognized him from a picture, which leaves Mike puzzled as there are no known pictures of 47. The two agents then rush to the scene. At the hotel, 47 tells his employers that the girl was not a witness, when he learns that Mikhail survived his hit, and is shocked to see a live news feed of Mikhail, who accuses the West of trying to take him out. 47 demands to know who the client is, but when he gets no response, "Sir, that's not how computers work." He threatens the voice that if they set him up, then he will burn them to the ground. Mike and Jenkins arrive on the scene where they meet with a police captain who is getting his men ready to storm the hotel to grab the suspect. Mike protests, but just then, FSB agent Yuri interrupts, telling Mike that he is in charge of the operation. Mike again warns the captain to call his men off, as they have no idea what they're dealing with. And after a back and forth between Yuri and Mike, the captain listens to Yuri. The heavily armed men then enter the hotel. At that moment, 47 gets a call from Diana, the voice on the computer, telling him that the client was Mikhail himself and that his location has been compromised. The armed men approach 47's room, but step on triggers arming the bomb trap at the door. 47 takes off running just as the men try using a battering ram, causing a massive explosion. 47 escapes the room using his escape rope and bursts into another room where two kids are playing his video game. 47 retrieves two guns from an ice dispenser and swiftly begins to escape. He manages to shoot and kill two guards before breaking into the elevator shaft. Mike and Jenkins, who had rushed inside after the explosion, see the elevators moving and Mike runs off to intercept him with Jenkins reporting the floor it stops at. 47 lands on top of an elevator where 6 armed cops are traveling and brutally shoots them all dead before sending the elevator to ground floor. Jenkins sees the elevator approaching and pulls his gun, but is greeted by dead bodies. He then sees the doors open on the 3rd floor and reports it to Mike, who rushes there to catch 47 and hold him at gunpoint. A maid then stumbles between them, giving 47 a chance to take off running and dive into a pool. Mike and Jenkins return to 47's room, which has been blown to bits. He learns from the captain that he lost 16 men and demands to take over, to which the captain complies. 47 is able to get himself a fresh suit before looking over a picture of Nika. Mike and Jenkins get their hands on 47's chest that carries his advanced weapons and gadgets, and Jenkins thinks he can get them to work. Just then, Yuri and his KGB team enter the room and demand to talk with Mike alone. Yuri and Mike both assume that 47 is working for the CIA, but Yuri wants sole jurisdiction over the case, as it is in his country. Jenkins relents, but not before letting Yuri know that Mikhail's assassination was a cover-up, as 47 does not miss. 47 later arrives at a hotel where Nika is staying, carrying a bunch of roses. He rings her doorbell, telling her that Mikhail sent flowers, but when she answers, 47 holds her at gunpoint and tells her to get a coat. The two exit the hotel, and he puts her in his trunk where a dead man is, and she freaks out. 47 brings her to an old building on the outskirts of town and begins to question her. Nika had never seen 47 before yesterday on the street, and she was there to meet her lover, Mikhail. 47 also demands to know how Mikhail is still alive, but Nika knows nothing. 47 pulls his gun, which is always good for memory problems, and she explains that Mikhail uses body doubles, but 47 refuses to believe this. He is about to shoot Nika when he sees her face tattoo, and recalls how he got his barcode tattoo. She tells him it's the only place Mikhail would not abuse. 47 decides against shooting her and asks about Mikhail's brother Udry and learns that he runs a trafficking ring and gun trade. 47 wants Nika to come with him, but she is scared that Mikhail will hurt her if he finds out. But 47 has figured out that Mikhail wants them both dead, as he was hired to kill her also. 47 then decides to complete his task of killing Mikhail and uncover the conspiracy. Mike meets with the police captain, who explains that they have locked down the entire city, with only trains running into Russia, but Mike thinks that's exactly what 47 is planning to do. Meanwhile, 47 and Nika are at a train station when he senses danger and sends her away. Behind him sits another hitman, and a distance off is Jenkins and Mike surveying the crowd. Jenkins doubts that 47 would be here, but Mike knows him better than anyone, and is certain. Meanwhile, 47 purposely lets the other agent see him, causing the man to follow him. Mike spots the older hitman and orders Jenkins to follow him, but then he spots Yuri and his agents also searching for 47. 47 leads the older hitman down onto a vacant platform and suddenly jumps over a stairway, losing the man. He comes searching for 47 and pulls his gun, looking for his bald-headed rival. He comes close, but 47 ambushes and easily defeats him, mocking the man for getting old. 47 wants to know why there is a hit on him, but the agent refuses to talk, so 47 shoots him before spotting another shadowy figure lurking nearby. 47 ends up on a vacant train, and is suddenly confronted by 3 other agents like himself, and there is a standoff. 47 then suggests that they die with dignity, so they all lower their guns and draw out dual blades. The fight kicks off, and the 3 just decide on jumping 47. But his skills are unmatched, and he easily brutally kills 3 of the men, while the last one he kicks out the train. The 2 begin to slash at each other, matching each other's speed. The 2 then manage to disarm each other and throw hands, but 47 is just too fast. Beats the man down before strangling him with his own belt. 47 goes back to find the old agent still barely alive. He tells 47 that things are just getting started. 47 then finds Nika hiding in a corner nearby, as she had come looking for him. Just then, Jenkins enters the area, gun drawn, but 47 holds him at gunpoint just as Mike also enters. Mike begs 47 to take him instead of Jenkins, but 47 shoots him in the chest before knocking Jenkins out. 47 goes to end Mike, but Nika begs him to stop, and he leaves telling Mike to thank Nika. Mike and Jenkins get treated when Yuri comes over to them, claiming that the assassin has been killed and tells Mike to leave the country, but Mike refuses and leaves. Later, 47 tells Nika that he cannot have her interfering in his work, and she sees his gun and gets scared. She cannot find a reason to beg for her life, though, as she thinks she is the property of Mikhail, as he paid the large sum of $300 for her. The last time she tried to escape, she was publicly whipped by Mikhail in front his buddies. He does not intend to kill her, but warns her to not interfere in his work. Yuri returns to his office where he makes a secured phone call to someone who turns out to be Mikhail, ordering him to find and kill 47 and the girl. Listening in on their conversation is Mike and Jenkins, but soon the FSB track down their car in the parking lot. They hold guns on Mike, saying they have orders to escort them to the airport. 47 then has Nika set up a meeting with an associate of his, CIA officer Smith. While he sits with a sniper rifle on a nearby roof, Smith tells him that he killed the real Mikhail and the Russian elites then replaced him with a double, and now 47 has been thrown to the wolves. 47 then offers to take out Mikhail's brother Udre for the CIA in return for a small favor. Smith then tells 47 that Udre has been planning something with a buyer named Price whom he has never met. 47 and Nika then travel to Istanbul where 47 takes her shopping for a new dress. He then stops by a restaurant where Price usually dines and sees that he has a reservation for 8. The two get to the restaurant where 47 takes a cup from a waiter on his way to Price's table. He secretly drugs the glass and returns it, and after a while, Price is choking and struggling to breathe. His men take him away to the restroom, and 47 follows him. The men search 47 before he enters, but he removes a gun and a syringe from a toilet, before killing the guard and injecting Price. He then kills the two last guards. He and Nika then return to their hotel, where she tries to give up the cheeks to him, but 47 injects her and knocks her out. The next night, 47 goes to at a club where Udre is hanging out and turns up posing as Price. Udre welcomes him to take a seat, seeing his suitcase of cash, but soon one of his men informs him that 47 is not Price. Udre plays it off and starts introducing his guns to 47. He then holds a gun to one of his girls, but suddenly, 47 throws his briefcase, which turns out to be a flashbang. He then picks up 2 machine guns and begins to decimate the men. The men fire back and Udre picks up 2 machine guns, and they force 47 to take cover. 47 steadies himself before firing back at the men, killing most of them before throwing a grenade which injures Udre. Udre learns that 47 wants to get to his brother, and begs to do anything to help, so 47 shoots him dead. 47 and Nika take a train leaving Russia, but 47 tells her that he needs to go back. He knows that the men will never stop looking for them if Mikhail is still alive, and he leaves telling her that he will do what he does best. Yuri is summoned to meet with the Mikhail double, who notes that they have successfully taken over, with their only loose end being 47, whom Yuri has failed to catch. Mikhail insults him, calling him incompetent before leaving. Meanwhile, Mike gets news from Jenkins about Udre's death, but their boss tells them to drop the investigations, as the EU, led by the Russians, have given the order. Mike knows that 47 is setting the Mikhail imposter up to be killed, when he hears a news report about Udre's funeral and figures out the plan. Later, Yuri is alone at his office when the lights go out. He comes downstairs to check where a shadowy figure stalks him. He pulls his gun, but is suddenly ambushed and knocked out. Yuri awakens tied down in a bath filled with water and a radio strapped to his hand. 47 warns him to order the shooting of Mikhail at 2:30, or a generator will kick in and electrocute him. Yuri tries to play dumb, claiming he knows nothing, but 47 leaves him a rubber ducky to keep his company before leaving. At the funeral for Udre, the Mikhail double turns up under heavy guard to pay his respects. He goes to give a speech behind bulletproof glass. Yuri only has over a minute to make his decision. As his timer counts down, he orders his sniper to shoot Mikhail instead. The sniper shoots 3 shots, breaking the glass, but Mikhail is rescued by his men and is being brought to safety, when 47, disguised in soldier gear, ambushes them and kills all his men in a hail of bullets. Meanwhile, the KGB agents throw gas canisters to knock out the funeral attendees, then lock down the entire church thinking they have 47 trapped, but Mike knows that they are wrong. 47 grabs Mikhail and drags him to another room, but there is another assassin there who attacks him with a spear. The two fight, where 47 rips off his ear and they trade swift blows, but 47 slowly beats him down before brutally killing him. Outside, Mikhail learns that 47 is in the southwest tower and figures he plans to escape into the water and gathers his men. The KGB officers overhear this and call in their gunships. 47 demands to know who the imposter really is, but the man offers to help 47 by offering him his life back. But 47 refuses and shoots him dead. Suddenly the gunship appears, ripping the entire room and Mikhail to shreds before leaving. 47 survives the onslaught, then sits alone as Mike and his Interpol agents rush the room and arrest him. They put him in a jeep to transport him to lock up when suddenly they are intercepted by black cars and surrounded by CIA agents. Smith steps out, telling them to stand down. He claims that Mike and his team are suspects in terrorist activities, but Mike informs him that they are transporting a criminal. Agent Smith asks him what criminal, when they realize that 47 is missing. Smith then apologizes for the mix-up before leaving with his men. We are then taken back to the beginning of the film, with 47 asking Mike if he is a good man. 47 then shows Mike the body of a dead agent, telling him that this will be his double, and revealing that he was shot using Mike's gun, forcing Mike to go along with the plan, and warns him to stay away. A few days later in Russia, Nika receives the deed to a grape vineyard as a gift from 47 who is watching her from on top of a building. At his feet lay a dead agent, and 47 tells him he should have listened. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you can watch more movies like this. Thanks for watching.